All right. Today's SPY was up 0.86%, and we did get the bull breakout above SPY 448, and we are largely playing out what I drew out, which was that we would bounce around 442 and start heading higher to fill the gaps. And today we did fill the gap around 449, and the next gap is up there right around 455, but we are coming into the resistance trend line right here, just below 452. So keep in mind, there's nothing magical about what we are doing. We are assuming we're going higher because we have the bull trend. And there's still some of you bears that want to brag about your put positions like you're curing cancer or something, but you're shorting a bull market, which is evident by the chart. And it's not me that's bullish. I'm simply reading the chart. So if I'm bullish, it's because the chart is bullish. I couldn't care less if we go up or down, and we're currently going up. So I'm bullish. And if we start going down, I'll get bearish. And it's as simple as that. So right now I'm deleting the arrows on the chart because we are getting to a pivot here that I want you to pay attention to. And I don't want you to just blindly assume we're going to break out and go to 455. Because I do think this is some significant resistance just below 452. What I'm trying to say by that is it's possible we get a pullback from there and either come back down to test the breakout at 448 and then go higher, or we'll fail to hold the 448 breakout and then we'll continue lower. And when I get a decision point in the market, I don't like to trade at all. I like to simply wait until I know the next direction. And yes, we still have the bull trend. And yes, my long positions from support are still open. But short-term trading, I don't think it's worth guessing where we go from 452. Wait for the breakout or the rejection and then place the trade accordingly. Now, as long as we have the bull trend, there's no reason to close out your long positions because those long swing positions are how you're going to capture the gains if we continue to go up or if we get those gap up moves and we continue to push higher. So in the short-term trading ideas, I think it's best to just be in cash and wait until we see what happens here at resistance. But longer term in your swing positions are still bullish because we have bull trends and price action still above critical support. And if you look at the daily chart, we really just put in a higher low, higher high on that breakout above 448. So there's really no reason to believe we can't go higher, and the highest probability chances are that we likely are going higher. All I'm trying to say is in the short term, wait for the break of that resistance just below 452, and then you'll have a lot cleaner breakout to trade from and a better risk level, and then you'll have more confirmation we're going to 455 to close the gap. So September is typically a very volatile month, and the back half of September is exceptionally volatile, typically speaking. So that doesn't guarantee we have to go lower. It's just something to be aware of. And if we do break below 448, just keep that in the back of your mind. So 448 is now a very important risk level. And if you're bullish, I would manage your risk from there. And if we break 448, then it's likely we could be going lower. And then that could mean we will lose this bull trend. But again, make price action prove it. Get in the habit of making price action prove every damn move in the market and stop guessing where the market's going to go. Just let the price action tell you and make sure you're ready to act accordingly. If you get in the habit of reacting to the price action and not having a bias, you are going to stop shorting a bull market because a lot of this year, the chart has been showing us very bullish patterns. And a lot of this year, we continue to make very profitable trades buying off support. Now, if you are struggling in this market, we are absolutely crushing this market in both the Stocks Channel Discord and BANC Trade Alerts. And you can still get that discount on BANC Trade Alerts. So if you still need help and you're not getting the information you need from these videos, both of those services are available. And you can currently get BANC Trade Alerts on discount. So going into the rest of the month, watch the support at 448. I do think that's going to be critical, and this resistance at the resistance trend line just below 452. And once we break this short range or this wedge that we're going to find ourselves in, I think that is going to set the direction of how we finish the month. On the NASDAQ 100 triple Qs, we were up 0.82% today, and the triple Qs did very similar as SPY with the higher high breakout after the higher low. And again, I want to delete my projections because we are getting into a very important resistance level, and I don't want you to just blindly assume we're going to break through it because I had the arrow there. This critical resistance in the triple Qs is barely above 378. And if we break and close above 378 on the daily chart, I think we have our higher low pivot and we're off to the races to 387 or higher. So we're very close to knowing if we're going to break that resistance because we just tested it today. And while I don't expect that level to break tomorrow, that is a level you should be watching very closely. So in the triple Qs, I consider critical resistance, that level just above 378, and a very important risk level for the bulls and support I would be paying attention to is this zone between 370 and 372. If we lose that support, I think we could easily go to 347. And if we break that resistance, I think we could very easily go to 387. For that reason, I would simply wait for that range to break and let the price action do all the talking, and then you won't have to guess if we go higher or lower from here. You'll wait for price action to confirm the move, and then you'll have a much higher probability to be correct. Above 378, we're looking for 387, and below 370, we're likely looking for 347. That's a very big difference, and we have the bull trend, so the odds favor the bulls. I simply am suggesting to wait for the break of that resistance. On the Dow Jones, we were up 0.98% today, and the Dow Jones hit our resistance at 350. And again, I'm going to be deleting these arrows, so if you want to see them, take a screenshot. And the next price target above 350 is going to be up there at 353. Again, wait for price action to confirm the break of 350, and then you can easily stay on that bull because we're likely going to 356 and then 360. Critical support in the Dow Jones is down here at 346, and if we lose that support, be cautious because we could be going lower to fill the gap at 340. On the Russell 2000 IWM ETF, we were up 1.41% today, and again, we had a strong bounce from critical support at 183, which is why I tell you not to short at support. This is a bearish looking chart with a bear trend, but that doesn't mean you blindly short at support. You need confirmation of support to break and then show that level as resistance so you have a low risk entry, and then you could look for that price target at 176. If you shorted at critical support, you jumped the gun and you paid for it today. And while that doesn't mean we can't go lower, right now we need to respect the fact that we just had a strong bounce off critical support on increasing volume. So again, I'm deleting all of these arrows, but I do think there's a good chance we're going higher with the confirmation in the small caps with that break above 188 or a break of that 50 EMA at 187. So anywhere between 187 and 188 is your critical resistance, and your critical support remains 183. On the ARKK ETF, we are up 0.41% today, and I'm treating ARKK as a range between 43 and 44.5. And when we break that range, I think that's going to set the direction in this market. Above 44.5, we're looking for the gap fill below 49. And if we break support at 43, we'll need to see if 42 holds. And if we lose all of that support, I think we start flushing down to fill the gap below 36. So be patient and let the price action show a break of this range. On the VIX, we were down 4.9% today, and the VIX continues to crush and continue to confirm what we already knew, which is that this is a low fear bull trend. We need the VIX above 15 if we're going to see fear and panic, and right now we see the VIX crushing down towards 12. On Bitcoin, we're currently trading just above 26,600, and we're up about 1.5%, and we are breaking back above the 20 daily moving average after a 3-day bounce off critical support. 25,000 is critical because if we break it, I think we flush to 22,000. But again, you can't assume it's going to break. You need to wait for confirmation. We do have a slight higher high breakout above 26,300. So if we can start climbing this wall of worry in Bitcoin where everybody thinks it's going to crash, and we break that resistance at 28,000, I think the bottom is likely in and we're off to the races and going back into the bull trend. On Tesla stock, we're up 1.75%, and Tesla is going well on its path towards that gap fill just below 290. But again, I am deleting every arrow I have drawn on the chart. So if you want to, take the screenshot now because this arrow is about to disappear and it's gone. So the next resistance in Tesla I want you to pay attention to is this resistance trend line right around 279, and that is a confirmed price target now that we did close above that resistance above 274. If we break 279 and 274 and continue higher, it's an easy shot to fill the gap at 290 and the price target around 296. Any rejection from resistance could likely fill the gap at 256, and then we could continue higher at a later date. So that's why I'm saying respect the resistance levels we're coming into, because there is a good chance bulls are going to take profit and bears are going to show up, which is going to be more of the scenario where we go lower before we go higher. Doesn't mean it's bearish, it simply means you're looking for another higher low to buy from, and that's a very nice gap fill right around 256. On Apple stock, we were up 0.88% today, and Apple held the critical support at 174, and there's really nothing else to be said there because we're not getting bearish for the gap fill at 167 unless we lose critical support at 174. If we continue the bounce and break above 177, I think there's a good chance we go fill the gap at 181.5, and then from there we'll have to see if we can break above the 50 EMA and regain the bull trend, or if we're going to get a lower high rejection and go down fill the gap at 167. I still think Apple is mostly going sideways for the next month or two, so there's not too much to look forward to here unless you're a range trader and don't mind ping-ponging around between support and resistance. So jumping back over to the S&P 500, this is still a textbook bull market, but we need to acknowledge the fact that we're coming into some very critical resistance. So in your short-term trading, respect the bull trend, but also respect the fact that we're about to hit resistance and we need confirmation of a breakout. Sometimes no trade and sitting in cash is the best trade. That way you have more clarity on where we're going. And I would much rather not be wrong and not lose any money and wait for more clarity and have the next best trade than simply trade out of boredom and the fact that I need to place a trade each and every day. It's okay to not trade and it's okay to be patient. It's actually preferred, and patient traders are usually the most profitable. So practice your discipline and your risk management. And right now, risk management tells us we need to be cautious here because we have a bull trend coming into resistance and we have no confirmed breakout yet. We are absolutely crushing this market on bank trade alerts and the stock channel Discord server, and you can still take advantage of the bank Labor Day sale, which you can find all the details in the description below. If you're an existing bank member, be sure to take advantage of that annual discount because that's the best savings you're going to get. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you're crushing this market, and as always, I will see you in the next episode.